All right. Good morning. Oh my God. Oh my God. Season 6. I can't believe it, you guys. It's season 6 of the Big We podcast. We're back. It's August. It's time. It's Big We podcast season. Woo! I'm excited. Can you tell how excited I am? Are you excited? It's been 6 whole months since I talked to y'all. 6 months? Do you know what could happen in 6 months? I know you know because we've been experiencing it for the past 6 months. What a crazy and wonderful, exciting, and unexpected time to be alive. Welcome to America. Oh, August 2024. So, for all of our new people out in the world, because I know we have some new listeners, I want to, hi, it's me, Anasa Troutman. Did I not tell you that? Did I assume that you just knew who I was? I did. Well, I mean, if you're going to listen to this podcast, you probably know who I am, but it's me, Anasa Troutman, the host of the Big We podcast. Hello, lovelies. How are you? I missed you. For folks who are new to the podcast, let me introduce myself and our podcast. This is the Big We podcast. Do you know about the Big We? The Big We is really out in the world incubating solutions for the cultural economy. We're out here working at the intersections of culture and community and content. We're out here loving each other and loving on you, trying to make the world, not trying, we are making the world better. We're making it better for all of us. I'm Anasa. I'm a cultural strategist and a producer. And guess what? I call myself now a real estate developer because what? I develop real estate. Who knew that was going to be my future? I don't know. I didn't, but I really like it. We'll talk about that more later. Let's see. What do I want to tell you? I want to tell you hello. I want to tell you about everything that's been going on for the last 6 months. I want to tell you about the Olympics. The Olympics is just going off. I think the closing ceremonies was a couple days ago. I mean, are you one of those people who like become a patriotic Black in the Olympics? Because my sister, y'all remember my sister? She was on here last season. My sister becomes the most red, white, and blue I've ever seen in the Olympics. And she watches literally every day. She texts me pictures and updates. She talks to me about, she introduced me to the steeplechase this year. This is a crazy race where people run around like a horse. Have you seen this? They run around the track and they have to jump over the hurdle. They have to jump in a little puddle of water. And this poor man fell so hard in the steeplechase, and my sister kept me up to date about his health updates, about his race placement, everything. She's so sweet. So did you watch the Olympics? I confess, I did not watch the Olympics hardly at all. I think I only ever really watched clips on the Olympics this year, which is also odd for me because I really love the Olympics. I almost went to the Olympics this year, but life has been so busy, y'all. 2024 has been a crazy, 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 but very fun beast. I have traveled far and wide this year because you know why? Because in Memphis, where we all live, we live in Memphis, we are getting so far on the Historic Clayborn Temple renovation, and we're expanding our development to include other places in the city. A month ago, we bought the home that Aretha Franklin was born in. Can you believe that? It's so amazing to be able to have these opportunities to be able to help literally build community. But you know what that means? I need to raise a lot of money. So much money. But abundance is everywhere, and we can attract it to us and to our work. So I've been on the road this year. I lied to myself in January, and I was like, this year, I'm going to be home so much, and I'm so excited about how calm of a year I'm going to have. I just got off a plane last night at midnight, and that's just how it's been the whole time. I've been traveling everywhere, so I'm a little tired, but I'm also very, very, very excited about our life and our work and how much our work has grown in the 6 months since I've seen you last. It's crazy, the kind of productivity we've had. Our team is growing. Our work is growing. I feel more confident. I'm a better leader right now than I was before. Last time I saw you. Now, we have had some downs. We had some people come onto our team to try to tear it up. But sometimes adversity is what we need to grow. And so it's fine because now I'm amazing, even more amazing than I was 6 months ago. Okay, exactly. And I hope you're more amazing too. So that's what's happening in my life. I wish I could talk to you. You could tell me what's happening in your life because I really want to know. If you have my phone number, call me. What's our text number, Renisha, so people can text me and tell me how they're doing? Let me see. I know what it is. Our phone number is 901-676-7372. So if you're listening, I want you to send me a text message at 901-676-7372 and tell me how your year's been so far because I miss you and I want to know what's going on in your life, okay? Yes. All right. What do I want to tell you next? Let me see. I want to tell you about season 6 and how it's going to be, y'all, because season 6 is going to be a little bit different. We're going to have 10 episodes this season. I'm so excited. The last 2 episodes are going to be so fun. Not that the other ones won't be fun too. The other 8 will be fun too, but the last 2 are going to be something we've never done before. It is going to be amazing. I think my sister's going to come back, but we'll see. No spoilers. If you're listening now, hello, sister. I love you. Of course, you better be listening to my podcast. I'm your sister. How dare you not listen? I know you're listening. I know you are. Okay. So season 6 is going to be so fun. We're going to have 10 episodes. The last 2 are going to be super special and super fun. But I think that we're going to be talking about love this season. Y'all know we try to have a theme every season. Kept telling myself I wasn't going to have a theme because what happens if I run out of themes? But I actually have one this year. I want to talk about love. I think it's so important. I think the reason why I really want to talk about love is because of this election season. Now, I'm sure I don't have to say much about what I think about this election season because you know me well enough to know what I think about this election season. But what I really want us to focus on is what it means for us to have an electoral process that loves the people of America. Because I see, I'm being very careful because, our work is partly nonpartisan and we have to be very careful about what we say and don't say. But what I will say is it feels really great to have a presidential candidate who I feel like actually connects, understands, and loves my experience. How about that? And I want you to think about what it looks like for our candidates to show up in a space of love for us in our country and the world. And maybe choose your candidate based on that. We'll talk more about that later on another episode because if I start talking about the election right now, I'm going to talk for an hour. But y'all know it's been crazy. Were you on the 44,000 person Black women call the night that Kamala Harris was endorsed by Biden on that Sunday? Nonpartisanly, I was on it. I was on it. And it was amazing. We were on the phone till 1:00 in the morning and I couldn't even hang up. And I've been on the calls ever since. And at the end, I don't hang up and I'm on the phone all night long because just the energy on the calls is amazing. It's so beautiful to see all of the women showing up and to see people in other communities too showing up and having these really critical conversations about what our future is, because this is really about our future. Elections are about our future. Politics, culture, community, organizing, it's all about our future. And if we're going to build the future that we actually want, we're going to have to come together, y'all. You already know that, though. I'm preaching to the choir, but as they say, if the preacher doesn't preach to the choir don't know what to sing. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to be talking about it for the next 6 months because this season of the podcast will take us all the way up into and through the election. And we're going to not only be talking about that, but we're going to talk about the people who are building storytelling and building solutions that are going to help get us through to the future, regardless of who wins the election, right? Because we know that elections are only part of it and that we all have a part to play in the future. Yeah. I'm not gonna start preaching to y'all. Let me stop. Okay. So what do we want to talk about? Oh, you know what I want to tell you guys? So many things happen in the media space while we were away from each other for these 6 months. And on this week's episode, this first episode of season 6, I just want to tell you about all the things that I want to make sure you didn't miss, because this has been a fantastic year for film and TV and music and podcasts and books. I have been thoroughly entertained and thoroughly heart opened and thoroughly engaged in 2024. So I'm going to just share a few things with you that I want to make sure that you didn't miss. Okay. I want to start with film, because my favorite number one thing that I experienced from a media standpoint in 2024 was the Bob Marley movie. Did y'all see it? Oh, it was so good. We talked about it on season 5. It was one of our coming attractions. When they announced it, we had the date on there. And I went to go see that thing on opening night. You hear me? Because I couldn't stay away. So y'all remember that Kingsley Benadir and Lashana Lynch starred in that movie. And y'all know how much I love Kingsley Benadir, and super know how much I love Lashana Lynch. So this movie, I think I knew it was going to be good, but it was like mind-blowingly, deliciously good. It was such good writing, such good storytelling, so much insight that we had never had about the life of Bob Marley and the relationship between Bob and Rita Marley. That was my favorite thing, that we actually got to get up under their relationship and their marriage. And I also really loved that the authenticity of the film, because the family was very involved. Both Rita and Ziggy and some of the other kids were executive producers. And so we got the story straight from the family's mouth, and the acting and the cinematography and the dialect coaching and the wardrobe and the music and the literally every single thing. This might have been, I think, the best movie of the year. Because, my God, what was your favorite scene? My favorite scene was when Rita Marley told Bob Marley, "Don't play. I knew you when you only had one shirt." Wow. I love them. I love this movie. If you saw the movie, you need to go see it again, because, wow. Just like one of the most important musicians and human beings on the face of the earth, and one of the best movies of the year so far. So just make sure you go see that movie. The other movie I want to tell you about is Shirley. So Shirley came out on Netflix earlier this year, and it starred Regina King. And it really is the story of Shirley Chisholm. Now, do you know who Shirley Chisholm is? If you don't, you're in big trouble. But it's fine, because I'm going to tell you, and I forgive you, and I love you. But Shirley Chisholm was the first Black woman to run for president back in 1972. She was also the very first Black woman in Congress, right? So Shirley Chisholm, groundbreaking, amazing. She's the woman who said, if there's no seat at the table for you, bring a folding chair. We all know that saying. Well, that came from Shirley Chisholm. And Shirley Chisholm was one of the most smart, courageous, amazing women in the history of American politics. And the story of her life and her campaign came out on Netflix, starring Regina King. It was amazing. This is a really important moment for us to understand the history of Black women in politics. Huh? Question mark, exclamation point. So if you have not seen that movie, now would be an amazing time for you to go see that movie. It's on Netflix. It's right there for you. I know you got a Netflix account, or I know you got your sister's Netflix password. So stop playing and just go see it. Okay, the last movie I want to talk about is a little controversial. Not to me, but I've heard some people say disparaging things about it, and I'm offended myself. Okay, a couple months ago, I guess it was last month, on Netflix came I can't even say it without laughing. Beverly Hills Cop 4. Now listen to me. Listen to me. Stop talking. Listen to me. I was very nervous about a Beverly Hills Cop 4, because why are we doing that? Have we not had enough? But as a fan of the Beverly Hills Cop franchise, and a fan of Eddie Murphy, I felt like I owed him an opportunity to prove me wrong. And I will tell you, that movie was good. It was wonderful to have the old gang back together. You know, Tagger and the other guy, what's his name? I forgot that other man's name. Rosewood, Billy Rosewood, and all his guns and things. It was really good, y'all. It was funny. The storyline was good. There were some really beautiful throwbacks and some really fun Easter eggs. And like, they didn't do banana in a tailpipe. I really was waiting for a banana in a tailpipe moment, but we didn't get it. But still, even without that, the movie was so entertaining. And I didn't even have to leave my house. I didn't have to pay nobody $15. I just turned on my Netflix and it was so good. So if you have not seen it, like, I know I get it. I know why you don't want to. No, you don't. I know why you don't want to take a chance. But I would not steer you wrong, okay? Now, is it going to win an Oscar? No. Is it the funniest thing I ever saw? No. Was it as good as Bad Boys 4? No. But that's okay. It was good. It's worth your time. It is worth your energy and your attention. Just put on your pajamas on a Sunday morning after you get back from church, though, okay? If you go to church, if you don't, it's fine. Then you do it before, right? Just do it at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Watch the movie. You will thank me. You'll thank me. I promise you'll thank me. Okay. So that's my movies I want you to make sure you see. What else do I want to tell you? I want to tell you about No, we have to talk about music. Okay, listen what happened in 2024. Oh my God, Beyonce put out another album. Oh God. Beyonce put out an album in 2024. Okay, listen. I can't even get it together. I'm about to start sweating. Beyonce put out an album in 2024. Now, anybody who has ever listened to 5 minutes of this podcast know how I feel about Beyonce. And you know how I felt about her last album. Renaissance, I think, might be in my top 3 albums of all time. So, that being said, I feel like there's no way you haven't heard Cowboy Carter, right? There's literally no way that you haven't at least heard like one song or heard about it. But I just think we just need to acknowledge the moment of what Beyonce has done for country music and for exposing to the world, revealing to the world the origins and the participation throughout history and the current workings of Black people in country music, right? Amazing. All of the people that were on that record, all the beautiful songs and the songwriting. Now, I'm kind of happy there's no tour, or at least there isn't one yet, because I'm still recovering from the last tour. I don't want to buy another outfit, Beyonce. I don't want to buy any cowboy boots. I'm not coming to your show in a hat. But what I would really love is a Vegas residency that really goes through your whole catalog. Can we do that? Can please we get a Beyonce residency in Vegas? Can Beyonce do a residency at the Sphere like U2 did earlier this year? Would that be incredible? When I tell you I'll be the first in line, I'll be in the front row. I'm not going to be in the front row. Them tickets are too expensive. I'm going to be in like the 20th row, but I will be there. I will be there. Thank you, Beyonce, for another record. Now, y'all know that this is like act 2 of 3. And so the rumor is that the 3rd record is going to be a rock album. I am not going to get my hopes up because I do not want a heartbreak. But if Beyonce puts out a rock album, I think Lemonade taught us what Beyonce could do with some rock music. So let's keep our fingers crossed and our heads up and our hearts open and ready for Beyonce's new record and my prediction for her Vegas residency. Right, Beyonce? Are you listening? Oh my God. I almost forgot to tell y'all. I was in Martha's Vineyard yesterday. I'm not there now. I'm home now. I was at a conference and I had to leave the conference to go in the back room to get on a conference call. And I was sitting on the conference call and I saw like a flash of white in my side eye. And I looked up and why did Tina Knowles walk past me? Oh my God. Tina Knowles walked right past me. And she looked so pretty. And I couldn't even get myself together. I couldn't say hello. I was supposed to be talking to these people. I literally just my whole brain just shut down because Beyonce's mother walked past me. And I felt like I was having a wonderful day. And now I did not say nothing to her. So we're not best friends. But I feel like if I had said something to her, Today she will be in Memphis and we will be hanging out. So next time I see her, I'm going to have to not do that. Okay, great. What's happening? Oh, you know what else in music this year so far? I feel like y'all need to go back and look at the list of Tiny Desk concerts for 2024 Black Music Month because they were so good this year. They had Kiara Shear, they had Shaka Khan, they had Tim's, they had Michelle Ndegeocello, they had Tank and Juvenile and Charlie Wilson and Babyface all in 1 month on NPR on the YouTube channel. So you need to go and look those concerts up if you didn't see them, because if you did not, you missed a very powerful and important and fun moment in music. So go look at that. All right, enough music. I got 2 more things to tell you. One, I want to tell you about some books that I read this year. And then I'm going to tell you about my new favorite podcast. I'm laughing because I'm already ashamed by what I'm about to tell you. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Okay. One of the things that I started doing in 2024 after many, many years of resisting. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Oh my God. I started listening to romance novels. Now, everyone knows how much I love audiobooks, but my sister and one of my best friends convinced me to start listening to romance novels. And I really am trying to stick to the ones that are not so salacious because some of them are really wild and they are not for public consumption. But some of them are really sweet and like really make you feel hopeful about love and human relationships. And those are the ones I'm trying to stick to. But one of my favorite ones that I listen to is called Before I Let Go. It's by Kennedy Ryan. It was like such a sweet and complex story about this couple that had loss in their family and had broken up because of the grief, and like it was a story of them trying to find their way back to each other. And it was like such a beautiful, beautiful story. But that's not the point. The point is that earlier this year, the sequel to Before I Let Go called This Could Be Us came out. So what I'm telling you is I'm giving you permission to listen to romance novels, and I'm telling you to start with Kennedy Ryan, Before I Let Go, and This Could Be Us. Now, if you want a list, I will give you a list. I will come out with a top 10 romance novel list, and I love the list that I have because I've been really intentional about finding authors of different cultural backgrounds. So I have like some Asian authors, some Black authors, some Indigenous authors, and the stories are so beautiful and so sweet. And at the end, you close the book and you're like, oh, I feel so good. I feel so happy. Love is real. Love is possible. Everybody can be wonderful. And I would love to share that list with you, actually. I'm going to start working on that list. I'm going to get you a list of some really beautiful romance novels. And they're not going to be raunchy, okay? If you want the raunchy ones, you're going to have to call my sister. But myself, I can't take it. I can't take it. I can't take it. I can't do it. I'm not that old. Okay, so the second book that I read this year that I really want to share with you about. Now, everybody, see, you guys know me so well. Like, you know I love Beyonce. You know I love audiobooks. You know I love Bob Marley movies. You know I love RuPaul, okay? Everyone knows I love RuPaul. I keep telling people I am RuPaul's #1 cisgender heterosexual female fan. And I'll fight you if you think you are, because you're not. It's me, not you. And RuPaul had a book out this year. It's called The House of Hidden Meanings. I was waiting for this book for months and months. And it was so worth the wait. The stories that RuPaul tells in this book about his upbringing. This book is really about how RuPaul became who we know him to be. So it's like all about his family, a lot about his mom and his dad and the stories that we never heard before, and his early days in Atlanta and moving to LA and becoming the RuPaul that we all know. And it's just so well written, and also he reads the audiobook himself, so you're hearing his stories in his own voice, and it really makes it amazing. Now, I have been going to this conference in London every year, in Oxford every year for the past couple of years, and the first year I went, I went a little bit early because it was the Star Wars celebration. Europe was the day before the conference, and so I went early and I got to see, like, that was when I met Billy D. Williams. Remember, I met Billy D. Williams. Remember, that was the best day of my life when I met Billy D. Williams. But this year, I looked to see what was going on in London right before I had to be in Oxford, and you will never believe it, but the book tour stop for RuPaul House of Hidden Meetings was in London literally 3 days before the conference. So your girl got on the plane early, and I got to see RuPaul live, talk about his book and answer questions, and Michelle Visage was there. What? Oh my God. Michelle Visage was there? I know you don't know who that is. It's okay. I might be the only RuPaul nerd in the room, but that doesn't make it wrong, okay? You need to get on it. Even if you don't know who RuPaul is or really like him, the book is really great. It's really great. It's really about childhood trauma and getting past it and growing and learning and becoming more yourself. It's really liberating. So just listen to the book, okay? Now, I don't know why I'm mad at all of y'all because nobody told me there was a new Octavia Butler book out. I had to find out on my own. It's called A Few Rules for Predicting the Future. It really is one of her essays. They packaged and put it out. But the cover is beautiful. The language is beautiful. It's Octavia Butler, for God's sake. Everybody needs to go get it right now. Just right now, go get it and read it because it's Octavia Butler. And do you know that July 21st, 2024 was the first entry in the Earthsea Book of the Living journal that Lauren Olamide was writing in the parable of the sower. So we have arrived on the first page of Parable of the Sower, and this is the moment that Octavia Butler should be speaking to all of us. So if you have not, it's actually a great time to reread Parable of the Sower while you're messing around. So while you go and get a few rules for predicting the future, also reread Parable of the Sower and get ready because the rest of 2024 is about to be the product of Octavia Butler's imagination. We are literally now living in Octavia Butler's imagination. So if you want to get ready for it, then you should go read those books. And it's Octavia Butler, so I don't have to give you a reason anyway because it's Octavia Butler. Get it together. Go get the books. Read them right now. All right. Only one more thing I want to tell you, and then we're going to go, and I'm going to see you in a couple weeks. So this month marks the 100th birthday of our beloved James Baldwin. Now, have you read any James Baldwin books? Because if you haven't, I feel like we have to talk about that. I feel like you need to just get off this podcast right now and go start listening to a James Baldwin book. But if you need, if you love James Baldwin, or if you've never read his books at all, this podcast that just came out is such a wonderful way to dive deep into the mind and the heart of James Baldwin. It's a podcast called Baldwin 100. It is anywhere you can find podcasts. Okay, here we go. Baldwin 100 podcast has Eddie Glaude, Roxane Gay, my number one boo, Billy D. Williams, Robert Jones Jr., and a whole bunch of other people who knew James Baldwin. There was a woman on the episode last week who was talking about being in France at James Baldwin's house when he was writing If Beale Street Could Talk, and how he had a salon and sat her down in the living room and looked at her face and say, I just wrote something, listen to it. And he read If Beale Street Could Talk in draft form to her in the living room. And then a couple days later, Toni Morrison shows up to hang out at France in the house. And then he reads it to her. So, like, the stories on this podcast are not, like, speculative. They're not academic. They're not essays about Baldwin. These are real people who actually knew him, who actually experienced him and his heart and his spirit and his love and his art, and are talking to us about their experience of him. And so it is such a wonderful ride that I really encourage you to go and listen to it, y'all. I wasn't going to do this. But I'm going to because there is one thing on TV I think that you should be watching. Now, I'm not saying this because I like it. And I'm not saying I don't like it because I haven't watched it. But there is a new Star Wars show and it stars a young black woman. Now, do you think that I could go through life and have a Star Wars show starring a young black woman and not talk to y'all about it? No, that doesn't even make sense. I wouldn't be me if I left that out. So I do not like to watch the Star Wars shows on Disney Plus as they come out because it gets on my nerves. I need it to be done so I could just hit play and go all the way through. So I haven't watched it yet because they haven't done the last episode yet, but I feel like we're obligated to watch it, right? Yes, we are, Anasa. We're obligated to watch it. So I'm gonna watch Acolyte in the next couple of weeks, and when I'm done, I will talk to y'all about it. But it's out there, it's happening, and we need to watch it. So just like go support Amandla Steinberg. Like she deserves our love, y'all. Go watch the show. Okay. Is there anything else I want to tell you? I think that's it. I feel empty. My brain. Okay. I'm just making sure because I don't want to leave you out of anything, but I think that's it. I have a couple things that are coming out soon I want you to think about. Have y'all seen this movie Sing Sing yet? I haven't been able to see it because it's like a very limited release. I think it's only in New York and in LA. But I'm going to LA in a couple weeks, so I'm really, really trying to go see it. But it's about the rehabilitation through the arts program at Sing Sing Prison, and it stars Coleman Domingo. And this is the Coleman Domingo Stand podcast. Did y'all see Coleman Domingo through award season? Who dresses that man, for God's sake? My Lord! I have never seen a man on the red carpet looking like that. Oh, God. Oh, did you see it? It was so good. Anyway, Coleman Domingo was out in the award season for Color Purple this year. Y'all know we talked about Color Purple on the very last episode of season 5 with our wonderful, lovely Raw Goddess. It was such a great conversation. We talked all about Black abundance and the way that movie showed up in this way. But Coleman Domingo, obviously, very celebrated in the beginning of the year around award season. Just everywhere looking amazing. But he has a new movie come out now, and it's called Sing Sing. And I don't know that it's ever going to come to markets like Memphis, but it is out in LA. If you can find it in your town, you should see it because I have heard nothing but good things about it. I'm going to see it next weekend, I think, when I'm in LA. I will come back and tell you all about it, but you got to go find it. And if we can't find it, we're going to figure out where it is on streaming. So that's the one thing I want y'all to pay attention to. The other thing I want you to pay attention to is a new book is coming out about the life of Audre Lorde. It is coming out on August the 20th, I think. See, now I don't know the child's name who wrote it. Okay, you can cut this part out too. What's her name? I'm tripping. Alexis Pauline Gumbs has this book coming out, right, about Audre Lorde on August 20th. We talked about Alexis probably 2 seasons ago. She is the woman who was writing the book about like the lessons that we can learn from the underwater. It's very conceptual, but very brilliant. And Audre Lorde is one of her heroes, and she wrote this amazing book. I'm assuming it's amazing because it's Alexis, and she doesn't write not amazing books, but it's called Survival is a Promise, the Eternal Life of Audre Lorde. Audre Lorde is famously the woman from whom we got the quote that you can't dismantle the master's house with the master's tools, which is a longer quote that is actually way more complex than that. So like read the whole quote. Don't just stop there. Actually read this book and then read her books, okay? We need to be reading Audre Lorde in this moment, okay? 2024. I can't even say anything else about 2024. Okay. I think that's it. Seriously, this time, that's it. Okay. I'm so happy that we're back. I'm so happy to be with y'all. We're going to have so many amazing guests this season. I've called some of my favorite people and asked them to come talk to us about their work and about their views on love and humanity and all the things. So I'm actually really excited about some of these conversations that'll happen starting on our next episode. But today I just wanted to be me and you because I missed you and I want to be with you by myself. And I want you to tell me what you've been going through, and I want to tell you what I've been going through. And we'll invite some other people in next week. And I think we're going to have somebody on every episode this season. Maybe not the last one. We'll see, because I might just want you to myself again. But all the other ones, we'll have somebody here. We're going to have a fun time. And I will see you next time, okay? I think that's all I have to say about that. Yes. So we'll be back in a couple weeks, every 2 weeks for the rest of the year. 10 episodes, 6 months. If you want to get up on what's happening with the Big We or Big We Foundation or Historic Clayborn Temple, you can follow this podcast, of course. You can also follow us on Instagram. I think we're on Facebook, and somebody told me we have to start a TikTok this year, and I'm very, very not into it, but I'm going to do it because I follow directions. When I hire people to tell me what to do, I do what they say. Leave us a review because you love this podcast so much, and then follow us on all the things. And you also can follow me at Anasa Troutman. I'm on IG and Facebook and Twitter, but y'all know I don't be getting on that Twitter, so don't bother. But where I really am is Instagram. If you really want to know what's going on with me, come on Instagram. And of course, you can send me a text message at 901-676-7372, and I will answer from my own phone. I promise I will. And let's see. Shout out to Walter. We're in a new studio this year, y'all. Y'all can already tell by if you're looking at the video, you can see that we're in a totally different space. We're in Sunstorm Studio this year with Walter Person, and this is somebody who I met a few months ago, and then Renisha was like, we're going to do it in Walter's studio. And I was like, I love that studio, and I love Walter. Let's go. And then today we got to meet Tim, and Tim is from Boom Kane Creative, and he's doing all the visuals. And let me tell you how thorough and detailed Tim is. I'm so excited to be working with him, because I know it's going to look amazing, just because literally he adjusted every camera 100 times. And so I know it's beautiful. And the lights, all these pretty lights and all this stuff over here. So we have music this season by Ish Music. And I think that's all the people want to, So as always, this is a love offering from the Big We family. We will see you out in the world. Humongous love to my Big We family and Big We Foundation and Clayborn people. Let's see. Humongous love to you. You know I love you. I'm so happy you're back. All right. From the House of Abundance, this is Anasa Troutman. Oh, this season we're going to say from the House of Love. How about that? From the House of Love. This is Anasa Troutman. And I'll see you. I love you so much.